Well, this last week we tried to look at maybe rearranging our players and kind of the way that we set them up. We call it a system in soccer, and we're kind of looking at maybe making some changes with our system. We had the goals against UTPB, which were great, but against Midwestern we weren't as successful against a better team. And so we're trying to figure out the ways that we can manufacture some goals right now, and so that's going to require some experimenting. And unfortunately, we start off on the back foot, giving up an early goal. It had nothing to do with the formation, just our defending. One player stepped over to press the ball, and the other one didn't track or mark through, and that ended up in a goal. And then the other one, I think as a result probably of tired legs and trying to chase the game, and sometimes you're going to try and gamble to get that one goal to try and get a result, some kind of points in the game. And so there can be mistakes that happen, and unfortunately that's what happened yesterday. Right now I'm looking to the team. I think that the team needs to find ways to create opportunities to score, and I think that we did have some chances yesterday. Obviously we had 10 shots, but some of those shots again are ones where we're not making the goalkeeper make a diving save, or we think that the quality still needs to improve, and in that aspect we are asking a lot of younger players to do better with that. So I'm hoping that between now and now that that weekend's done, we're going to look at the next 2 weeks kind of together. We know that we're in the conference tournament, so now it's about can we progress and improve between right now where we're at and over the course of the next at least 3 games, how we improve. Well, I don't think it's risky when we're losing 2-0. But I think that the potential for it is that maybe it gives us a new way to try and find goals. The way that we've done things in the past few years, it's just not possible. We don't have the players to be able to make that happen right now. So we need to find another way where we can still create chances. Yeah, well, I mean, it puts pressure on everyone. It puts pressure on the forwards who aren't getting goals. It puts pressure on the midfielders to try and find ways that maybe they can manufacture a goal, and it puts pressure on the defense because they feel like they're working as hard as they can to try and prevent the other team, and the other team's scoring, and so why aren't we? And so it puts pressure on the staff, because we're trying to figure out ways to create opportunities. So it's a pressure-packed situation that we're in, and these are the times where if you can turn things around and get them to head in the right direction, then I think that the players feel really confident about their abilities moving forward, that they can accomplish more than where they're at right now. And that's kind of the situation that we're in, is can the players do more than what they came into the season thinking they could do? The seniors want to press. They want to win. They want to find ways to turn things around. So, we've got a lot of seniors that are defending, and they're trying to do everything we can. Demi is our one senior up front, and she was trying to create some things yesterday, but the other team were double teaming her and preventing her from having an opportunity to make a play in the game. So it was difficult on her. But the seniors they're great. They still have the positive attitude. They want to find some way to make something positive, in the next minute of the game, much less, the next 3 games of the season.
Well, that stuff I can't control how they do. Obviously it helps our situation, but when that happened this weekend, I talked to my team about that, and I said, don't feel good about that. Don't feel like you have insurance, because there's a lot more riding on how we play than just conference. We want to host a regional. So if we slip up, we make a mistake, we lose to somebody we shouldn't lose to, that opportunity to host a regional kind of gets a lot more challenging. So it's nice that there's, some cushion there, I guess, but it doesn't fit in with our grand scheme goals, really. I wouldn't call it pressure. Maybe, who knows? Everybody reacts to that stuff differently, but it's incentive for us, really, more than anything. I think it's motivation. It's something that's out there that we can go after and something to fight for, So I look at it that way, as opposed to feeling like we have to. We can win wherever, wherever a regional is hosted. I feel good about our chances to compete. But, it's certainly an added incentive to be able to play at home a few extra matches. So we're certainly pushing for it. Well, we talk about those goals a lot. It's not like it's something we don't talk about. We want them to make sure they understand what we're playing for. Each match has its own reason for winning, and so we approach it that way. Well, Bree did. She had a great weekend for us, both offensively and defensively. She was clutch for us this past weekend, and it's nice when all of our attackers are kind of clicking. We didn't quite do that on Saturday, and she kind of carried the load for us really on both days. So it's nice to see someone step up when they needed to step up. She's a really talented player. I love what she does on the court. She works hard, and it makes other people want to compete as well. So I like when we're all going at the same time, though. It makes us pretty tough to stop. No, I think we just have to play clean. We got to play good volleyball and let's see what happens. They have, obviously a very talented team and some players that are, just elite attackers. So we've got to be prepared for that specifically. Well, I think everybody's in the same boat. Everybody has basically the same schedule. There's a grind. You're playing 3 times in a week, and it's a challenge for sure. So I think we'll be able to handle that as well as anybody else out there. Wednesday night is our YMCA night. YMCA for the younger kids is getting started this week. I think they're just gearing up, so we want to get them in the gym. Obviously, it's a big night for us. It's a big match, so a few hundred extra screaming little girls doesn't hurt. So if they wear their YMCA game T-shirt, they get in free. So hopefully we'll see them 7 o'clock on Wednesday versus Tarleton. Friday we have our trunk or treat. Our SAC Student Athlete Advisory Committee does a kind of little Halloween thing. If anybody comes to the match in Halloween gear, those kids will get in free. Plus we'll have candy and booths set up for them. So Friday could be a fun night too. Play WT.
7 turnovers. That'll do it. It's tough to win games. Fumble return for a touch. Muff punt. Taken back to the house for a touch. I think those were kind of back-to-back. And then you look at a couple more fumbles along the way, interception. It's difficult, almost impossible to win games when you have turnovers like that. And unacceptable, and it's kind of embarrassing that the level we performed. I don't want to take anything away from Commerce. They're an unbelievable team, but for us to be able to compete with them and play at a high level like we did in the first half, we got to be able to control hold on to the ball. Well, I mean, it's tough. Those kids are embarrassed the way they perform. And it's just one of those games that when everything went wrong, it did. And, those kids tried hard. They kept fighting. Their attitude was great along the sideline. But we can't sit there and harp on it. We got a road trip to Western New Mexico, a team that's very, very good. You look at them, they took Tarleton 44-41. You look at Commerce and Midwestern, those games were close going into the fourth quarter. So it's a tough road game for us, and the longer we sit here and sulk about that loss, the harder it's going to be for us to be able to compete this weekend. Yeah, and that's the $1 million question, the one that we struggle with as coaches. We talk about putting ourselves in situations. We practice at a high level every day, and it's just one of those things that from a confidence standpoint, when something goes wrong, your kids, they teeter on popping or staying with it. But our kids, for the most part this season, they've been really resilient, and that's what we've had a lot of ups and downs, and that's what we approached it. That hey, this is done. There's nothing we can do about it. We're going to have to go out and fight. Well, I thought our running game did pretty good. We averaged, I think we were over 200 yards rushing against Commerce, one of the top defenses in the conference. That's got to be our strong suit. Carson is still developing from a passing standpoint, and so we're going to have to be able to run the ball, and that starts with our guys up front. It starts with our receivers blocking downfield. They understand where their role is in the game. They got to continue to do that, and that's got to be our strength going into this week. Well, we talked, from our kids. I said, look at, when we're doing everything right, we're protecting the ball, we're in our gaps on defense. Look where we're at. We're up 14-7. Our kids got to understand that. The minute that we get out of gap on the up front or linebacker position, or we let someone behind us, or we turn the ball over, that's going to put us in a bad situation. We can't do that. We got to continue to build on the positives. Like I said earlier, our kids understand that and see that, and that's just got to be something we build on as a staff and as a team this week. You know, let's do the little things right. Even if we got to minimize our game plan going in against Western New Mexico, let's do the little things right and put ourselves in position to be successful. Well, obviously, our main goal is to win the remaining games that we have, and but that starts with Western New Mexico. If we're able to do that, that puts us at 6-5. Our third winning season in a row. Something, a momentum that we can build on going into recruiting and spring ball. But it starts this week. We got to rebound in a big way, coming off a huge loss like that. And we'll see, come tomorrow, our kids are focused and they're ready to get back on the field to erase the bad taste that they have.